Alrighty. I did try to go live, just literally it was like what 30 minutes ago, and I do apologize for that. I literally got interrupted just as I was starting the stream, but I had to end it. Someone called me literally at the same time that I was starting up the stream. Now this is going to be very quick. I literally just want to kind of get my thoughts out on the first episode of Attack on Titan season 3, which if you're watching this, I'm going to be talking about the episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled or don't want to know really, or kind of what happened in the first episode of the third season, I would leave, mute the stream, or whatever you want to do. Probably people in the chat as well going to be talking about it. So I probably wouldn't look at the chat either. So yeah, I went to the premiere screening of Attack on Titan season 3, episode 1, and it's a 2-day thing, which it was today, and it's tomorrow. Today, the 10th, was the subbed Japanese voices, obviously, and then tomorrow, the 11th, is the English dub. So if you guys want to go, check it out, it's too late now to see it. I believe so today. But if you would like to go see maybe the dub tomorrow, which maybe some people will go, I don't know. But the thing is, you do have to rewatch the whole second season again because they do have the recap film, which I think it was nice, seeing just Attack on Titan on the big screen and also having that refresher because it has been a little bit since the previous season. So, I like that. But the big thing that I was there for was the first episode of the third season. And I gotta say, man, it feels like to me, like Attack on Titan is going in a completely it's going in a completely different direction. Just with this first episode of the third season, and even coming off of season 2 a little bit, um, it's getting a lot more political. It's getting a lot more like religious, if you want to say, like with the church and the government. It's going in a different direction. It feels like, to me at least, like we're gonna get stuff in Attack on Titan that we haven't had before in terms of this season. And from what I've heard, and this was going back to my season 2 reactions, people were telling me like season 3 does have its slow parts in that it gets very political. Like there's lots of dialogue. There's just like stuff like that going on. So that was very apparent with this episode. And also a big thing that I'm really excited for, because Levi is my personal favorite character. Levi is back in the picture, man. He's back. His leg is healed. He's good. Well, it's not 100%, but he's still like good enough to fight. He's still good enough to get out there and throw it down. Which with what we saw with him and Kenny, man, at the end of the first episode, this third season, like. And the way the equipment that they're using in the weaponry, it's like some Western shit, like, and just like Kenny's whole vibe, man. With the hat and just it literally feels like these characters like are from a Western or something, like Kenny and especially Kenny. But we saw like his whole like force. Literally, they jumped up in the air. They have different looking gear and different looking equipment. So that's to start off the season with a character like that, who obviously has a huge past and huge relation to Levi. I believe he's his uncle, actually. I'm also pretty excited to see what Kenny has to bring as well. I think he's going to be kind of like a villain type character. That's how he was sort of introduced, and what appears to be going on here. And it was kind of cool what they had going on, because it was like the military and the government is after Historia and Eren, and this new squad has been formed under Levi to protect Historia and Eren. And it was like they had Armin disguised as Historia, and then I forget who was disguised as Eren, but someone was disguised as Eren as well. And they kind of like they tricked the who was after uh, Eren and Historia. They tricked them into thinking that it was them, and then they were okay, we got him. Everything was, it looked like it was going according to plan, but then like Levi was like thinking like, wait, there's no way like they'd send out like amateurs, like this. And then it was like their plan got foiled by another plan, which I believed it was Kenny's doing, which we saw at the end of the first episode of the third season. So with that, the Levi squad that was formed, which we have like Mikasa, which Mikasa kicked some ass in this episode. Levi didn't do like too much in this episode in terms of like fighting and all that, but I feel like in the next episode, which won't be for a bit because the first episode of the third season airs in what 11 days. So there's that. Mikasa kicked ass. The Levi squad has been formed. They're also doing these experiments, right? On well, they were trying to use Eren to like rebuild the walls, because we know how like the walls are made of like hardened titan and all that. So they were trying to like find a way to patch up the walls using Eren, and that hasn't that wasn't really working out as we saw in the premiere episode. So that was also another big thing. And another thing that I have to mention as well is the pastor guy. What was his name? It's like Pastor Nick or something. He was the one who told them that Historia is going to be like a big key in finding out way more than what they know right now. And he actually gets killed in this episode, in this premiere episode of the third season. And he is actually killed by the military, the military fighting for the government. So it looks like we're gonna have multiple groups, multiple factions here, like the church, the government, obviously, like our group, like Levi, Eren, all them. There's also still Bertolt, Reiner, and Ymir, who are off, the three of them. So it's like it did a good job, I would say. Coming off of the second season, it's literally like we literally just picked up with the next part of the story, like and I think they did a good job with it. And I think with what's to come, I think I can tell, and you guys have been telling me this, there are going to be like slower parts with this season of Attack on Titan. I can tell, just it's getting very political, very religious, very into that. There's gonna be, I feel like, tons of dialogue. But also with that is going to come a lot of reveals as well. And, I'm excited for it. It's going to be different. I feel with this season just going forward and the way they're going to handle it. But we'll see. And also, oh my gosh, how did I forget about this? I guess it's kind of good that I'm saving this for last. At the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the first episode of the third season, the very beginning, the first thing you see an older looking Eren at the ocean. And I was just like, they started this off with this because that doesn't come apparently till later. And they show, I forget exactly what he said, but Eren's like talking about how like past the ocean or something in the ocean or beyond the ocean, like he's wondering what's there pretty much, or what is this talk about, what's past the ocean. And I'm just like, they would start this off with that, just how they showed at the end of season 2 with the Beast Titan and who we saw got out of the the Beast Titan and all that. So they kind of pulled that off again with the beginning of the third season. So yeah, we also have to remember at the end of the second season, Eren being the coordinate now. That was a big thing. So, yeah, I don't know if that's going to have any importance in this season specifically, because it seems like the coordinate is like activated in like a desperate, as a desperate measure, like in a desperate situation, as we saw at the end of season 2. Yeah, they did put that in the first episode, which I was even surprised, because, in the preview, like the first teaser preview for Attack on Titan season 3, we see them flipping through the manga covers, and there was the one where everybody's flipping out, like the ocean, the ocean, the ocean. And then they're telling me, okay, this isn't going to come till like way later on. And then they show like that at the beginning of this season. It's just kind of like a little tease, like what they did with the Beast Titan at the end of season 2. That's kind of like the comparison that I put it towards. But yeah, and also I don't know if you guys knew this, but Attack on Titan season 3 has been confirmed for 2 cores, which is great news in my opinion. I think that's incredible. And hopefully we're in for another season. But I feel, like I said before, that this is, Attack on Titan's going in a way different direction than what we're used to with the first 2 seasons. The second season kind of like we started heading in that direction, but I feel like with this season it's just totally gonna go in another direction. And will it be for the better? Will it be for the not that good, or is it going to be like, oh, we'd rather have the old Attack on Titan or this new direction that it appears they're going in? We'll see. Only time will tell. That's really all I have, honestly. My thoughts on the first episode of the third season. I thought it was pretty good. Great seeing Levi back in action, and I'm intrigued to see what kind of political with the church, with the government, with the Levi squad, with Bertold and Ymir and Raynor. Like, we have so many different groups and so many. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. So, oh yeah, I told you guys this is gonna be a quick stream, and it was. I only wanted this to be between like 10 and 20 minutes, and just talking about one episode. And I can't wait till you guys can see it. If you can, maybe go see it if you want to watch it dubbed. But I don't know. No, probably not even in Pacific time. Like, if you're on the West Coast, it's probably too late by now because it was at 7:45 for me Eastern time. So maybe if you want to go see the dub, you can go check it out. But I highly doubt a lot of you want to go and do that, because I definitely wanted to go see the sub, and I was happy that I was able to go to it and see it on the big screen. Which there were also, and I probably should have mentioned this, some of the cuts in the episode, especially with Levi and Kenny and Mikasa when she was fighting in this episode, were really nice. Wit's back on it. I did hear that, like, some of the animators and all that, like, for this season aren't back on board with this production. I don't know if that's true or not, but and also the censorship rumor or whatever with this being like on NHK. Now, granted, this is a premiere, like a early screening. It hasn't even been on the station in Japan yet, but it was just same old Attack on Titan. Like, when the pastor dude died, it was just like blood splattered everywhere. It was graphic. It was just like right what I wanted to see with Attack on Titan. And even when Kenny shoots I forget her name. But Levi is up on the rooftop with this one girl. She's definitely a supporting character. She's not like too important, but Kenny pops this chick in the face and like just head down on the ground. And then also I forget the other dude's name too, but there's two characters that died in the episode as well from Kenny and his men, and it was graphic. So the censorship thing, it wasn't there. It was just same old Attack on Titan in terms of like the gore and the how graphic it can be. So that was good news for me, and good to see that. So yeah. Overall though, pretty good start. Pretty good start. Now I have to wait, of course, for a while. For the second episode, I probably will check out the first episode again of the third season when it gets here. I think it's like 11 or 12 days, so about a week and a half. So yeah, that's about all I have. I want to thank you guys for joining the stream. If you were here, really quick stream and just kind of my quick thoughts on the first episode of the third season of Attack on Titan. I'm so happy that I got to watch it on the big screen. Did not even think this was going to happen. I remember it being announced, and I never like bought my ticket when the tickets released. So today, like earlier today when I bought my ticket, I was like, oh, please let there be a seat left. And there was like 2 or 3 left, and I got one. So opening, ending, there was no OP or ED. Like in terms of the song play, they just had credits. That's it. But Linked Horizon actually isn't on it, which is going to be different. It's going to be... Oh, wait, actually, I think they might have played the song over the credits. I don't remember. But screw it. So yeah, there's not going to be a reaction for the first episode of the third season because I already, I don't want to do a reaction over something I already saw and recently as well. But it was good to get the refresher. Good to see the premiere episode of the third season. And until the next episode, and until you guys can all see it as well, maybe you'll come back to this, and we'll have a little discussion. But yeah, until episode 2, until the next video for Attack on Titan. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys being here, and yeah, peace out.